So a lot of traders don't know this, but once you learn and see this and watch this every day, you'll never unsee it. And in my opinion, this is one of the closest things to a cheat code in trading, and I'm gonna be revealing it right now. Now, one of the big reasons traders fail is because they're constantly chasing breakouts, or even if they're waiting for a retest, they're entering the trade too early without this confirmation I'm gonna be showing you in this video. And once I found this, my win rate shot up dramatically. This isn't just another indicator, it's a hack that uses the most transparent piece of data you can get in the market, which is volume. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Has this ever happened to you? For example, let's say we're in an uptrend as we were on this day, and all of a sudden we get a nice pullback to the support area where we got this aggressive buying right here. We get these nice looking reversal candles, right? This is 5-minute candles, by the way. We get this nice reversal candle. We get another reversal candle. We end up entering the trade right here after these two nice looking 5-minute reversal candles close. And then we're going for a high a day take profit and a stop loss below the lows. Okay, this looks like a really good trade, except you're missing one piece of information. And all of a sudden you take this trade without that piece of information, and this ends up happening, right? As you can see, the trade looks great. We enter right here, everything looks good, and then boom, we just completely dump and reverse trend. Now, what is that piece of information that you are missing to avoid this type of trade? And what that is going to be volume along with price action, also known as volume price analysis. There's a whole book on this by Anna Calling. You guys can check it out. But anyways, as we can see, if we go back to where we were looking to enter, which was, the trend was up, we're pulling back to a nice support area, and we had these two reversal candles right here. And, what did we notice about these reversal candles? Well, first off, the volume is decreasing, okay? Look how much the volume decreased from this initial volume where we had a nice selling candle. So the fact that volume was decreasing like that, even though, this candle is super bullish, tells me the buyers are weaker than the sellers. It's as simple as that. Right, we can see the telltale sign right here is this candle right here, okay? And actually the next reversal candle, volume decreased a little bit again, right? Volume decreased. And then look at this. We have this next candle right here, this nice looking bullish candle. And this could have been a sign, if you're already in this trade, this could have been a sign to cut this trade. You would have made a little bit of profit before it tanks back down. Right, when this candle closed right here, look at this. It's a nice looking 5-minute bullish candle. There's almost no sellers on this candle. We closed at the very top. Why did this sell off? What was the hint that this was going to sell off? Well, if we go straight down, right, and we look at the volume, check this out, right? Look at the volume. Look how much it decreased on that bullish looking candle. When we have a bullish candle like that, right, pretty big candle, we close towards the top, we should see the volume, way up here, actually. But the fact that it decreased by probably 15% or so is a big red flag, and this gave us a clear hint, a clear sign that we were going to sell off. Buyers were not stronger than the sellers. And this kind of proves my point that, this trade looks super good without the volume. And then we see the volume, right? We see it decreasing so much. Like, why is this decreasing? This is a very bullish candle. This is your telltale sign to get out of the trade before sellers step back in and we bring this thing all the way down to new lows. And like I said, that book I was talking about gives really good analogies of this, where you want to see the volume match the price action, right? We can see we have this example where this is a good example. We have a small bar, small volume, a little bit bigger bar, a little bit bigger volume, a little bit bigger bar, a little bit bigger volume, a little bit bigger bar, and rising volume once again. Okay, so this checks out. This makes complete sense. If you're in this trade, I would continue holding it to your target, wherever that may be. Now, on the other side, we can see we have a smallish bar, small volume. Okay, that makes sense. We have a little bit bigger bar, but then we have big volume. Okay, well, maybe just big volume start kicking in. Not really any red flags yet. Then we have an even bigger bar and the volume decrease. And this is where you can start getting your red flag, okay? So once this candle close, I would consider getting out of this trade early. Or if you're looking for a pullback, let's say you're looking for a pullback to enter the trade long, right? Maybe you want to get long right here after we pull back. I would not take this pullback anymore, because the volume is not matching up with the price action. Okay, so this is what they call an anomaly. It doesn't make sense. Something's not adding up. And this is where you want to avoid taking your setups or getting out of the trade early. And this is how you use price action along with volume. You're seeing, does the price action, based on where the candles are closing, what the candles look like, does that match up with the volume and where we're actually heading? This is a clear example of that. Now, let me show you some good examples of real trades I've taken this week. So we can see, if you guys don't know, I like to trade the 15-minute opening range break and retest. We never retested it right here, but this is the original range. We have the top range on the green and the bottom range on the low. Okay, so we can see we originally created this 15-minute opening range. This is a 5-minute time frame, by the way. As you can see, this is the first time we just barely broke above it. So I wouldn't really count this as like a break above. Volume did increase a bit, but if you look on the 1-minute chart, as you can see, we never really retested it. And as soon as we did, sellers just continued stepping in. So there's no setups here. And then we go to the next time we broke the range, because you can trade this short or long, right? Depending on what side we break. As we can see, we got this nice clear candle that clearly broke below it. Right? This candle clearly broke below, and this is where I was potentially interested in looking for shorts, right? But then we look at the volume, and what do we notice, right? This is the volume bar on that candle, right? It's the same example from what I just showed you, right? Where the volume just started decreasing. We have a nice bearish looking candle, pretty big bearish candle, and volume's decreasing. This is an anomaly. This doesn't make sense, right? Signifying that, for one, I should not look for the retest to take short, or if I'm already short, I should get out of the trade, because we have a high chance of reversing if buyers end up stepping in down here. And that's exactly what they did. Buyers stepped in, we got big volume, and then the next time we retested the orb, right, which is this top line right here, this candle broke out of it, right? What do we notice about this candle right here? We started getting increasing volume, okay? So this is what we want to see. And then if we go into the 1-minute chart, as you can see, we broke out of it right here. That candle closed around right here. We retested it. Buyer stepped back in. I got long, giving me confirmation to get into this trade, right? Put your stop below the retest, and then you can ride it up to your target from there, wherever that may be. Now we can see I could have held this trade longer, right? Because what do we notice, right? The next 5-minute bullish candle we got, which was right here, the volume did increase just by slightly, okay? So there wasn't really like a great sign to keep holding this. So I was a little skeptical at this point. You know, typically I'd want to see the volume like increase, you know, a lot more for me to hold this longer. So I was happy with my, 1.33 risk reward on this trade. Okay, we can go back to another example. This is the very previous day, right? So this is this Monday this week. And this is another trade I ended up taking, again, using the opening range break and retest. As we can see, we got our first 15-minute range right here, the top being up here, the bottom being down here. Now, as you can see, we tried breaking below the range on this candle right here, but we never closed below it. As we can see, we dipped down in here and we ended up closing way up here. So there was no clear setups yet. Didn't really have to look at anything. And then we just look at, where do we break out? Okay. Next time we broke out was right here on this candle where we closed above it. Now this candle, it's super important that we look at the volume. So what the volume look like on this candle, right? We can see it right here. Okay. Let me get my little drawer here. We can see, look at this increasing volume. The volume is matching the price action. We're seeing elevated volume on the breakout, signifying that the breakout or the retest should hold. And instead of just blindly hoping it does, this volume, this transparent piece of data that's not lagging, it's in real time, it shows all the transactions going on. This typically won't lie. You're going to get faked out way less, even if you're taking the retest already. You're going to get faked out way less, and your win rate is going to skyrocket. So anyways, as we can see, once we got that confirming piece of information that the candle looked good, we closed above it, and most importantly, the volume matched with the price action. As you can see, this candle closed at 9:25 my time. We go over into 9:25, which is right here, right? We end up pulling back. We got the retest. Buyers stepped back in. I got long right here and rode it up to my target, wherever that target may be for you. As you can see, we continue going up the rest of the day from there. So that's going to be the telltale sign. You can go to another day. All right, same process here. We're marking out the 15-minute opening range, the highs and lows of the first 15 minutes of the market open. As we can see, right, we never broke below here. Actually, this should be up here. Okay, so we tried breaking below a little bit, never closed below. Even if this candle did close below, because sometimes that will happen where we'll just barely close below, like let's say it got filled to here, for example. Again, same thing. We're not going to get faked out, right? Because we know how to read the volume and the price action, right? So look at this. We get a massive drop in volume on a pretty bearish candle. This candle opened way up here. So I'd say this is a pretty bearish candle. Sellers dominated this candle, but they lacked the volume. Look how much this volume dropped off. It's a clear sign that if buyers do step back in, sellers are going to get smashed. And that's kind of what ended up happening. As you can see, buyers started stepping back in. And what do we notice, right? Buyers step back in with pretty low volume. So even this, like, I still wouldn't trust. So if I'm at this stage and I can't see anything past, the right side of my screen here, right? It tells me that we're in a very balanced market. There's no edge. No one's winning the tug of war. We're kind of just balanced and we don't really know what's going to happen yet. So in that case, what do? We sit on our hands. We stay patient. We wait for the setup. We wait for volume to confirm price action. So we continue waiting. We had a news candle right here. And then we start heading over to the next time we actually broke out of the opening range, which was right here, right? This is the first time we broke out of the range. We get a nice bullish candle. Buyers completely dominate this candle. And what do we notice about the volume? Okay, the volume had a nice spike. Okay, look how much it spiked up from that last candle. All right, so this is the telltale sign that, okay, any retest here should hold. Or if you're a breakout trader, this breakout should hold. Okay, we don't know how far it's going to go up. You're going to have different resistance levels, different retracement areas, depending on how you set your targets. But we know that we should see a rally up from here. Okay, so we go into the 1 minute chart. As we can see, right, what happens is close above here, right here, 830, and then we retest it. Buyers step back in. I get long right here, and we ride this up to nearly a 1.4 risk reward ratio, near the target I had during this time. Also, real quick before you guys go, I want to invite you to our free trading Discord community. Inside of here, I post my trading plans for the NASDAQ and the ES market every single day. I trade futures, and I post my levels and my trading plan every day in here, so you'll be able to see all of that good stuff. Inside of here, we also have a trading floor where you can chat and network with all kinds of other members in here. You can ask me questions in here as well, and all kinds of other resources we have. So don't trade alone anymore. Surround yourself with a helpful community who are all on the same mission. So anyways, guys, we'd love to have you inside the community. If you guys want to join, it's completely free. All you have to do is go to the first link in the description below this video, or just head over to this link right here. That being said, guys, I look forward to seeing you inside our Discord group. As always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video with another day trading lesson.